Okay, so you're pumped to nail that integration engineer interview right.
Yeah?
You want to walk in feeling like you've got this and you're going to knock their socks off with your integration knowledge.
Basically.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into RoleCatcher's career guide and interview prep resources to help you do just that.
We're talking about going way beyond just basic answers. We're going to break down those common integration engineer interview questions you're going to see, really get into the why behind the what, and give you a killer strategy to create those standout answers that show you really know your stuff.
I'm all about it, so let's dive right in. RoleCatcher says, one question you're almost guaranteed to hear is, can you walk me through your experience with middleware integration?
It seems pretty straightforward, but I'm thinking there's got to be more to it than just name-dropping middleware platforms.
You hit the nail on the head. Remember, what interviewers really want to see is how you apply your knowledge.
Yeah.
So think about a specific project where you played like a crucial role in middleware integration.
Okay, got it. What was the situation you were dealing with? What was the task you were given? What action did you take? And what was the result? That STAR method, it's your secret weapon.
So instead of just saying, oh, I've worked with IBM MQ,
Right.
you'd give them something more like, at my last company, we needed to integrate our CRM system with a brand new marketing automation platform. My job was to design and implement a solution using IBM MQ to make sure the data flowed smoothly between those two systems. I used MQ's message queuing features to handle those huge amounts of data and make sure everything was delivered reliably.
Yeah.
That ultimately led to a 20% faster lead processing time.
Boom. Now you're talking. You gave them context, you showed off your technical chops, and you highlighted the positive impact you made. And be ready for those follow-up questions.
So for sure.
The interviewer might toss something at you like, what were some of the challenges you faced with MQ on that particular project? Or what made you choose MQ over other middleware options?
That's where those deeper insights come in, right? You've got to be set to explain not just what you did, but why you made those choices and how you navigated those obstacles.
You got it. Show them you're a problem solver who can think critically and explain your thought process clearly.
Okay, let's shift gears for a sec to another super important part of integration, data security. Question number 2 on the list. How do you ensure the security and integrity of data during integration processes? I can already feel the pressure.
This one's all about proving you have that security-first mindset, which is absolutely essential these days. Instead of just listing off security measures, think back to a time you really went above and beyond to make sure data security was airtight during an integration project.
So if I was in the hot seat, I might say, in one of my previous roles, I was in charge of integrating our e-commerce platform with a third-party logistics provider. To keep all that sensitive customer data locked down, I put end-to-end encryption on all the data moving between those systems. I also worked hand-in-hand with our security team to set up really strong access controls, making sure only authorized people could get to that sensitive information.
That's a fantastic start, but to really knock their socks off, you could even take it up a notch. Did you happen to spot any potential weak spots during the process? What steps did you take to head off those risks before they even became a problem? Remember, companies are looking for someone who's not just following the rules, but actively thinking about security from every angle.
Gotcha. It's about showing them that proactive and security-conscious mindset. All right, on to question number 3. How do you approach troubleshooting and resolving integration issues? Feels like this one's all about being a technical Sherlock Holmes, right?
Exactly. When you're dealing with integration, things don't always go according to plan. Interviewers want to see that you've got a system for troubleshooting, not just randomly trying everything and hoping for the best. So walk them through that process. How do you go about isolating the problem? What tools or techniques are in your belt to pinpoint that root cause? Do you dive into logs first, start analyzing code, or maybe test different components?
And it's bigger than just the technical stuff, right? We're talking communication and teamwork, too.
You got it. Integration often means working with a bunch of different teams, some inside the company, some outside. Interviewers want to know you can clearly explain those technical issues to anyone, techie or not, escalate problems when you need to, and be a real team player to find those solutions.
So tackling this question, it's smart to bring up a time when you successfully untangled a really hairy integration issue, emphasizing your process for solving the problem, your communication skills, and that ability to collaborate effectively.
Exactly. All right, moving on to question 4. This one's all about APIs. You know, those unsung heroes of modern integration. You'll probably be asked to walk me through your experience with API integration.
APIs are everywhere these days, right? They're how all those different software systems talk to each other and share data without breaking a sweat. But for this question, it's not enough to just say, yep, I've worked with APIs. You really need to show them you understand API concepts, protocols, all those best practices.
Exactly. Talk about those specific API protocols you've used, like REST or SOUP, and be ready to compare and contrast them. Talk about their strengths and weaknesses.
Right, like a pro.
Interviewers might throw out what are the advantages of going with a RESTful API, or how would you handle error handling in an API integration?
It's also key to highlight your experience with API documentation, testing, and of course, security.
Absolutely. Companies want to know you get how important well-documented APIs are for keeping things running smoothly and making sure everyone's on the same page. They also want to see you have a good handle on API security to protect that sensitive data.
Speaking of being ahead of the game, let's jump to question 5. How do you stay up to date with the latest integration technologies and trends? This field changes faster than a speeding bullet, so that continuous learning is mission critical.
You said it. And interviewers, they're on the hunt for those candidates who are passionate about staying current. Don't just rattle off a list of blogs you follow or websites you visit. Instead, tell them about a recent integration technology or trend that's really caught your eye and why it gets you fired up.
For example, you could say, I've been really into the rise of serverless computing and how it's changing integration architectures. That ability to build and deploy integrations without having to manage servers is a total game changer. And I'm excited to explore how we can use serverless technologies to boost our integration game.
Now you're speaking their language, you've shown you're aware of the latest trends, you can explain complex ideas clearly, and you're enthusiastic about innovation.
Music to an interviewer's ears. Okay, on to question 6, which zeroes in on something unavoidable these days, the cloud. The question is, can you walk me through your experience with cloud-based integration platforms?
Cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, they're like the backbone of modern integration now. They offer that scalability, that cost-effectiveness, and a massive toolbox of services. Interviewers want to know you're comfortable working in these environments.
So instead of a simple, yeah, I've used AWS, give them a specific example of how you flexed your cloud-based integration platform muscles in a real project.
Love it. Did you move an on-premises integration solution to the cloud?
Huh?
Did you design and deploy a cloud-native integration architecture? Get specific, talk about the services you use, the roadblocks you hit, and the wins you racked up.
And remember, numbers speak louder than words. You could say something like, at my last company, I spearheaded the migration of our old integration platform to AWS, which cut our infrastructure costs by 25% and made our integration processing time 30% faster.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's tackle question 7. This one's all about quality assurance. How do you make sure integrations are tested thoroughly before they go live?
Testing, it's everything in integration work, right? Even a tiny mistake can snowball and cause chaos across multiple systems. Interviewers want to be sure you've got a rock-solid testing process to guarantee the quality and reliability of your integrations.
Tell them about your testing strategy. Do you use a combo of unit testing, integration testing, and user acceptance testing? What tools or frameworks do you rely on to streamline your testing process?
You could say, for example, I'm a big believer in a multi-layered testing approach. I always start with unit tests, using a framework like JNID, to make sure each piece of the puzzle is working perfectly on its own. Then I move on to integration testing, where I actually deploy and test the entire integration flow in a safe staging environment to catch any hiccups before they reach production.
Music to my ears. You clearly laid out your testing process and showed them you sweat the small stuff. And speaking of attention to detail, let's shift gears a bit and talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can give you that extra boost in your interview prep, especially when it comes to those little details that can make all the difference.
Right, because we want to make sure you're totally prepped and ready.
Absolutely. And remember those awesome resources we were just talking about. Well, RoleCatcher takes it a step further by using AI to really personalize your prep.
It's like having a secret weapon up your sleeve. Tell me more about these AI tools, especially the Beat the Automated Recruiter feature. That one really caught my eye.
Oh, it's a game changer for sure. Picture this. You find that perfect integration engineer job posting, right? But even before you hit that submit button on your resume, RoleCatcher's AI goes to work.
Okay, I'm listening.
It analyzes your resume side by side with the job description, gives you a match score, and points out any spots where your resume might not be hitting the mark.
That's incredible. It's like having your own personal resume expert who knows exactly what those algorithms are looking for. No more wondering if your application's just getting lost in the shuffle.
Exactly. And if your score isn't quite where you want it to be, no worries. RoleCatcher gives you tailored suggestions on how to bump it up. Maybe you need to tweak your skills section a bit, or maybe highlight specific projects that really line up with what they're looking for. It's all about making your resume stand out, both to the humans doing the hiring and those algorithms making the first cut.
Now, what about this RoleCatcher Copilot AI? It sounds like it takes that whole personalization thing to a whole new level.
You got it. Imagine having an AI career coach right there with you, guiding you every step of the way. This Copilot AI checks out your experience, your skills, and the specific things they're looking for in each job you're interested in.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Then it gives you personalized tips on how to tweak your resume and cover letter.
So it's not just about sounding impressive, it's about using the language that speaks directly to the companies and the roles you want.
You nailed it. But it gets even better. Remember all those practice interview questions we covered? Well, Copilot AI can actually help you craft really strong answers. It does this by looking at your experience and the job description and suggesting relevant examples and talking points that really show off your skills in the best possible light.
This is amazing. So with RoleCatcher, you're not just getting access to this huge library of resources, you're also getting personalized AI support to help you really put your best foot forward.
Exactly. It's like having a whole team of career coaches and advisors in your corner, all powered by the magic of AI.
I've got to say, I am thoroughly impressed. We've covered so much ground today. We talked about what it's really like to be an integration engineer, tackled those make-or-break interview questions, and even explored how AI can give you a leg up in this competitive job market. So to all you aspiring integration engineers out there, what are you waiting for? Head over to RoleCatcher, check out their career guide, dive into those practice questions, and let that AI be your guide. And remember, the keys to acing any interview are preparation, confidence, and showing them you're truly passionate about this field. Good luck.